Hi everyone, I'm Steven, and today I'm using cardboard to make the headpiece Scarlet Witch wore in the finale of Wandavision. If you're curious, keep watching, subscribe, like this video, and let's get to it. To start off, I rewatched the ending of Wandavision and took screenshots of her headpiece every time it was in profile view. I took the best one that I found and uploaded it to a site called Pixlr. It's basically a free Photoshop that you can get online. I'll link to it below. Once there, I stretched out the image a little bit to accommodate for the curve, and then I lightened the image and adjusted the contrast a couple times to help make the design pop and be a little bit more noticeable. I printed that image out and held it up to my face to see if the proportions looked okay. I thought it looked fine, so I cut it out, traced it onto some flimsy pizza box cardboard from a frozen pizza, flipped it over and traced it again, and cut that out. Gotta love when a prop is symmetrical, it makes it so much easier to cut these things out. Anyway, the mask should be curved, so I glued that cutout piece onto another layer of this cardboard so it would be doubled up. And doing it this way helps account for the little bit of extra cardboard needed for when it's curved. And gluing it this way also helps keep it curved once it's dry. Feel free to use some kind of cylinder to help you if you want. I stuck it in a flower pot from the dollar store in order to help me out and get the curve right. And just so you know, this is the same type of cardboard as a cereal box, even though it was from a frozen pizza. I cut that out and then went back to the printout of the picture and started cutting out each of the little pieces. To help me cut them out, I occasionally drew on the picture to help me see the lines a little bit better. Each of these tiny pieces got traced onto cereal box cardboard and doubled up. I hot glued the tracings onto another layer of cereal box cardboard. Once the glue was dry, that's when I cut it out. This just made it easier and helped keep me from going insane by preventing me from having to trace everything so many times. So that was great. And then I just hot glued each piece into place. It's definitely not a hard process, but it's a little time consuming, especially when I had to use my knife to make the little cutouts. Because some of the cuts weren't perfect, I occasionally had to make some adjustments. So if you make this headpiece, go slow, take your time, try to make your cuts as accurate as possible, and then try to glue them on in the right place. A little shift can kind of throw off everything, and I shifted mine up on one of the sides, so it's not 100% symmetrical, but it still looks okay. Remember that it's always better to make the piece a little bit bigger and then trim it down than to cut it too small, and then you're just gonna have to redo it anyway. So while cutting everything, you're definitely going to get some rough edges. So if you get rough edges, just take your fingernail and kind of scratch them into place. You really can't tell once it gets painted, and rubbing it with your finger actually helps smooth things out. And then if there are any glue blobs poking out, take the tip of the hot glue gun and rub it on the blob until it melts down and smooths out. Once it was all glued together, I painted the entire headpiece in red craft paint, and I just used that as a base coat. I then mixed together red, plum, and black craft paint. This gave me a dark purpley red that kind of matched what I saw on screen. And yeah, I painted on 2 or 3 coats, and then all of the little recessed cutouts got painted a slightly darker shade of paint. And to make it darker, I just added a little bit more black to my mixture. It was pretty simple, and you can really tell in person, although on camera I don't know if it's showing up. When it dried, I glued on a headband that I cut in half and used that as the elastic, and the only reason I used a headband was because elastic was sold out at the dollar store. But you'll see all that when I'm back with the finished product. So there you have it, the headpiece Wanda wore in the final battle of Wandavision, completely made from cardboard, tape, and glue. It's her Scarlet Witch headpiece, crown, tiara, or whatever you want to call it. I really love how it turned out, and it doesn't even feel like cardboard. I really wish that you guys could feel how sturdy and smooth it is. It was actually pretty simple to make, just a little time consuming with all the tiny pieces. If I ever made this again, I'd honestly probably just use craft foam. It would be a lot quicker and definitely a lot easier to cut everything out. I'd also make it a little bit smaller so it would look exactly like the one Wanda wore, because it's a little bit smaller in WandaVision. And finally, I'd start gluing the designs on the center of the headpiece first instead of the bottom. I think that would have been easier and helped me keep the symmetry a little bit more symmetrical. But overall, I'm honestly super happy about it, and I can't wait until one of my friends wears it at a convention. Oh, and I totally want to thank my friend Kim for volunteering to wear it in this video. I think she kind of looks like Wanda and should definitely cosplay as her soon. So yeah, thanks Kim. Anyway, if you guys liked how the prop turned out, I'd really appreciate it if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel. It helps out a lot, and I think it would be pretty cool to grow this channel. But regardless, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.